Hello common people, this is a Common Car Reviews and I am your lovely host Pepsi. Before my well-earned spring break, I took my wobbly self to the movies, where I watched 28 Years Later, a post-apocalyptic horror film directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland. This movie is a sequel to the previous movies named 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. In the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, world was on the brink of collapse. Military roamed the streets as the rage virus took hold of many people, and they infected the others. We have followed many people in this journey, and road to the virus leads us to the continent of Britain, that is now quarantined off from the rest of the world. Europe is free from the virus, but Brits got the short end of the straw. We follow a human settlement in somewhere around British Isles, where community lives in a place called Lincoln Farm, a tidal island connected by a fortified road that is under the water most of the day, protected by the strong currents, so no infected can come into the settlement without getting wiped away by it. There we are met with Jamie, his son Spike and his sick mother Isle. They are scavengers. They go to the mainland to get stuff, and also perform some coming to age rituals where Spike has to go and kill infected to prove that he is a man. This little community harbors some relics from the past, but are mostly hunter-gatherers with a religion and an old way of living. First, some good about this movie. It was full of nice vibes. The world was eerie with being mixed in the old and new. You could see the civilization's mark before everything went down and how nature has overtaken its righteous place. Forests were blooming and huge, nobody to cut it down. Animal population has grown greatly, as we can see a big herd of deer roaming mainland. People who lived in Lincoln Farm resembled almost people of Middle Ages. A movie somewhat enforced that by flashing us some view from those times at the side. Main weapon in here was a bow, and people start to learn it from a young age. This bow was also a main weapon of our main man carried with a confusing amount of arrows. And now to the bitter part. Almost nothing of the old was left. We had completely different setting and people, and also almost unrecognizable infected. Now we had some new kind of infected, like ones that were bloated like corpses in water, and they crawled and ate worms. And also some others that were double as weird, like Alpha, that was bigger, stronger and smarter than the other infected, and could command the other ones. These all come very soon at the start of the movie, and are then left without any explanation whatsoever. Story of the movie was more human related. It was truly like coming of age themed movie like Wikipedia article says, and includes it in the description of the film. They could have given this movie a whole different name, and it wouldn't have made any huge difference. At the start we had some flashbacks from the previous movies, a bit of lore drop, and some references to the previous films. As a sequel, this movie fails its predecessor almost completely, as it shifts from the outbreak and the disease to a human settlement and the life of a Spike and his family. Things discussed at the previous movies, the nature of the disease and the infected, are not the topic anymore. And this very much alienates this movie from the original ones. There really isn't a lot to say about this movie because the difference of the others was so great. If it stands alone, it is a good movie. It has a good plot, it has good acting, it had a heartfelt story and a good characters, but as a sequel, not so much. If you are a die-hard fan of the previous movies, I say that save your movie money and wait for this coming to the streaming services or DVD and Blu-ray and watch it then. This was my review about 28 Years Later. I bid you all good summer, as I'm taking my yearly vacation soon. And lie low all July, and come back at the August. This was brought to you by Common Guy Reviews, and speaking to you, your lovely host Pepsi, and I'll see you in the next review. Goodbye.